Hi, thank you so much for joining us today on our Domestic Violence Awareness Month workshop. This month we are focusing on financial stability and real life practical skills that people can utilize whether they're in an abusive relationship or not. My name is Alyssa Jordan and I am the Community Relations Coordinator here at Quigley House, and I am joined by Bridget, our Economic Justice Advocate, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to her so she can introduce herself and talk a little bit about her program and get into it.
Thank you. As Alyssa said, I'm the Economic Justice Advocate here at Quigley House. I work with victims and survivors of economic abuse. Economic abuse, if you're not familiar with it, also known as financial abuse, involves maintaining control over financial resources, withholding access to money, or attempting to prevent a victim or survivor from working and/or attending school, in an effort to create financial dependency as a means of control. Victims and survivors are often forced to choose between staying in an abusive relationship, in poverty, or even homelessness. Economic abuse is the very common reason that people do stay. And some of the statistics are between 94 to 99% of domestic violence survivors have also experienced economic abuse. So my job here is to help with things like rebuilding credit and getting bank accounts, furthering education, job search skills, budgeting. And as a matter of fact, while we're on the subject of budgeting, I have this really cute video I kind of wanted to share with you all that really shows the importance of budgeting. If you can go ahead and play that for me, Alyssa, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, give me 1 second to pull it up.
Do you ever feel stressed about money? Unless you're a prince or a preschooler, you probably said yes.
For a lot of people, it always feels like there's not quite enough to go around. You're constantly having to make tough decisions about what you can forgo, and it never feels like you're really in control of your finances.
Well, when you need a bit of inspiration, look no further than the front of a $1 bill. I'm talking about this guy, George Washington. Besides being the first president of the United States, General George Washington was the commander of the ragtag Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. He must have felt like he never had enough soldiers to go around, but by making a plan, he was able to lead that army to victory over the greatest fighting force in the world.
You can take a cue from George by becoming commander-in-chief of your finances. Each one of these is a soldier in your army, and your battle plan is a budget.
I know, the word budget makes most people want to go AWOL. In fact, according to a 2016 Gallup poll, only 32% of couples keep a written budget of any kind. But if you were a soldier, would you want to follow a general who was making it up as he went along?
A lot of people tend to think of budgeting as prediction, estimating what you'll make in future months and how you'll want to spend it. But the most effective budgets work exclusively with present dollars. After all, you can't give orders to soldiers that don't exist. So the size of your army is only how much money you currently have in your bank accounts. And as general, your role is to give every last one of those soldiers a job to do. So if you have a total of $10,000 across all of your accounts, you need to decide how much of that you're going to spend this month and how much you're going to set aside for savings.
Before we can decide how much we want to spend, we need to know how much we're spending now. Print out your last 3 months of bank statements and put each expense into one of 5 categories.
Essentials. These are the things you can't do without. Rent, utilities, groceries, gas, car payments, health insurance, anything you need to live or do your job effectively.
Security. These are expenses that increase your financial stability, like building emergency funds or paying off debts. Don't double count credit cards in this category though. If you use a card to buy groceries, that expense should go in essentials.
Goals. This is money you set aside to achieve big life goals, like saving up to buy a house, starting your own business, or taking a special vacation.
Lifestyle. These are expenses that help you navigate your social world. Personal grooming and apparel, gifts for friends and family, gym memberships, even pet needs can go in here.
discretionary. This category is all about treating yourself. Going out to dinner, renting a movie, buying a video game, or getting a massage.
Everyone has their own priorities, but think of this as a good battle plan template, with the most urgent needs at the top and the more flexible ones towards the bottom. Now that you know how much you generally spend on these categories, you can start assigning your soldiers to next month's duties.
Unless you're living paycheck to paycheck, you probably have some money left over. But don't let those soldiers just sit around. Decide what you're saving them for. Is it an emergency fund or a Hawaiian vacation? Savings that have explicit purposes are a lot harder to steal from.
Congratulations, you've made your first month's budget. Now how do you make it stick? Number 1, write it down. You can use a spreadsheet, an app, or good old pencil and paper. But no general ever won a war by keeping all their strategy up here.
Number 2, update it. Conditions on the ground will change, so re-strategize at the beginning of every month, and you'll have new soldiers to deploy in next month's battles.
Number 3, use advanced technology. Thanks to the dozens of budgeting apps you can download for your phone, no one has to keep a checkbook longhand anymore. This can be especially helpful for discretionary spending. Now you can know right away whether you can afford that Weird Al album on vinyl.
So how do you know you're budgeting correctly? Well, the most obvious answer is that you're less stressed.
Imagine enjoying a dinner out without worrying about whether or not you can afford it. Imagine not holding your breath every time you check your account balance. You'd be amazed how much you can improve your mood just by introducing more clarity and control into your finances.
Like a lot of good financial habits, the point of budgeting isn't to have more money. It's to be happier with the money you have.
And that's our 2 cents.
We want to tell you about the new PBS Digital Studio series, Say It.
I love that video. Before I leave, if you or somebody that you know is being financially abused or have been financially abused, please give me a call. You can reach me at 904-284-0340 at extension 333. I would love to work with you. And please check out all of my very helpful handouts that I've listed in the link below. Thank you.
And I do just want to point out that definitely we don't own any of the content that was in that video. That's just a really cool YouTube channel with a lot of very simple, easy to learn financial information and stuff like that. So if you want to go check out their YouTube channel and subscribe, that's 100% for you. And you can also fill out the little form on our website, on our our financial services page that lists out Bridget's program, and that form will go directly to her as well. So you can always fill that and say specifically like, hey, what you're interested in learning about. But thank you so much, Bridget, for joining me today, and thanks for bringing up that video and everything. And make sure you stay tuned for the rest of our workshops and events for this month. We're going to be around town having coffee with an advocate. We're going to have healthy grocery shopping on a budget next week. So I look forward to everything we're doing this month for DVAM, and I hope to see everybody there. Thank you so much again, Bridget, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day.